Good morning or good afternoon, everybody. I hope you are all having a fabulous Thursday. We have some people that are coming on and joining us now. So let's see who's here. We have Alejandra, Andrea, Ariel, Austin, Brittany, Cindy, Clarissa, Crystal Smith. We got lots of people. Cynthia, Desiree, Gianna, Danae, Heidi, Isabella, Jenna, Jennifer, Jesus. Uh, we have Joanne, Kathleen, Lily, Lorena, Madison, Mary, Mary Ann. Oh, so many people. I love this. Melanie, Madison, Mary.
This is awesome.
Oh, it's getting buried because they're still joining in here. I'm sorry if I'm missing anybody because they're popping up all over the place. Michaela, Mimi, Natalie, Rebecca, Sergio. Hi, Sergio. That's one of my employees. Sharp, Taylor. Hi, Chi. Tina. Hello, Tina. Spa Academy. Hello, my friends. Is it the whole group or is it just you? Tracy, Vanessa, Veronica, Victoria is one of our Team Awesome girls. Hello, hello. All right, we got lots of chats going on too. Pennsylvania, hello from Florida. Good morning, good morning. Seattle. I love seeing where everybody's from too.
Me too.
Awesome. We got more people joining us, so we'll give them another minute or so. Who else is here? Who else is here? I want to know who's here from Spa Academy. I don't know if she can type in there. Sarah, you're responding only to hosts and panelists. You have to respond to all, my friend, so they can see you. Only I can see you, and Danae can see you. You got to say to everybody. Lake Charles, Louisiana. There it is. San Antonio, Texas. Cool. All right. Well, we're just letting everybody join in. Thank you guys for coming this beautiful Thursday afternoon for some, morning for others. I know I'm in Connecticut, so it's afternoon for me. I had a lovely breakfast with a friend, and Danae and Sarah are over there in Arizona, so it's morning, bright and early for you guys, right?
Yes. Good morning or good afternoon.
Great, great. Yes, Sarah, thank you for spoiling the fun. Who else do we have joining us here? I think I said everybody's names that is there. Lorena, I don't know if I said your name earlier. Got lots of familiar names on here, some new names as well. We have our Hushy of the Year, Amanda Mazur, whatever your last name is. She's going to beat me up to this day. It's always in my head as Mazur, but she said it's Mazer. Tatiana's here from Team Awesome also. Thank you for spoiling the surprise as well. Yes, everybody, today is my birthday. I am working. My slave driver boss said you need to work on your birthday. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Thank you, my friends. Thank you. Thank you. San Diego, awesome. Michigan. Taylor says hello from the Skin Bar. Awesome. I think that's all. Boo, boo, boo. Thank you, guys. Florida, we got lots of Florida girls in here today, too. I wish I was in Florida right now because it is a little chilly here in Connecticut. I think it was 40 something this morning. So, and it was like 80 something 2 weeks ago. I was actually in West Palm at the West Palm show and it was so hot. And then I got home and it was so hot here. It was still in the 80s. And then all of a sudden it just dropped.
Welcome to fall.
Right? Oh, we got lots of California kids in here too. California. California. I think it's amazing how the Zooms can bring people from all over together the way it has. Like, I think that just, it baffles me every single time. I think I say that on every Zoom, but I just feel like it's come such a long way from when I was an esthetician. Well, not when I was, I'm still an esthetician, but when I was first an esthetician, I'd have to like drive to Boston or drive to New York to get a class. And now it's just like right here at our fingertips. And I think that's just so phenomenal.
I love it as
Yeah.
well.
Gilmore Girls, absolutely. It's the whole vibe right here. All right. So, well, I think that, oh, yeah, Zoom, somebody was from Trinidad for sure. Puerto Rico, see? Look at that. That's where I really wish I was right now. All right. Let me get these little chat boxes out of the way and feel free to keep pouring in. It's 12:06, so we'll probably just get started. Thank you again for all of the attendees who have joined us so far. Thank you for Danae for visiting us from Arizona. And then we've got Sarah on with also in our office in Arizona. So I am so happy to have Danae here with us. And she's going to be speaking a little bit about Linder Health and how Linder Health partners phenomenally with Hale and Hush products. We are going to do some giveaways today from Hale and Hush. However, unfortunately, we don't have our fancy wheel today. So we will be picking the winners of today's webinar at the office later on, and we will announce them tomorrow in our Hale and Hush group, private group. So if you're not a member of the Hale and Hush private group, please join. And I'll have Sarah throw that in the chat for you. It's Hale and Hush Pros on Facebook. And you do have a few questions that you need to answer in order to be admitted into the group because we want to make sure that you truly are an esthetician. So those will be available to you, but only for those who actually stay until the end. And this, again, Zoom's really fancy, so it tells us who's here for the whole time. So you need to have been on for the beginning and for the evening, not evening, sorry, ending. And then our purpose today is really just to highlight how phenomenally Linder Health and Hale and Hush work together. And if you're not familiar with Linder, it is a chemical peel, but not necessarily a chemical peel like you would think. Sometimes we think peels are going to actually just strip layers and layers, and your skin's going to be falling off by the sheet. And that's not what Linder's about, which is why we love them. And I can't wait for her to share all the juicy details with you all. And I will tell you, I am an esthetician. I do use Linder Health. I have 2 physical locations here in Connecticut, and some of my staff members are on here because we use the Linder Health peels in our establishment as well. So we are just going to kind of go through learn about Linder, learn about Hale and Hush. And along the way, if you do have any questions, I do want you to put them into the Q&A section, which you should be able to find along the bottom or the top. Let me make sure that it's there. Sarah, do you see it on your end? It should be available. Yep. There it is, Q&A, and that is going to be able to help us not lose your question in the chat. Obviously, feel free to keep commenting in the chat. We love the suggestions. Maybe you're already using Linder. Alexa says, love Linder peels. Absolutely. So if you have any success stories with anything that either Danae or myself are talking about, please feel free to throw them into the chat. If you have a specific question, then please put it into the Q&A so we can make sure that we go back at the very end and answer those questions so we don't miss any of the questions. We will be recording this video, so if you have to jump off for any reason, that is totally fine. It will be recorded. It'll be sent to you, usually I think tomorrow, and then it will also be up on our YouTube channel by the end of the month. So without further ado, I am going to introduce you to Danae Markland, and she is an educator with Linder Health. And we will let her take over the show. She'll tell you a little bit about herself and about the products. Let me just get rid of my screen. Stop share. Hello, Danae.
Hello, how are you?
Excellent.
So good to be here. I'm so excited for today, and I appreciate you having me and for everybody taking the time out of their day to spend it with us. My name's Danae Markland. I have been a licensed esthetician for over 20 years, and I am the Vice President of Clinical Development and Partnerships for Linder Health. I love everything that there is to do with ingredient knowledge and chemical peels. They call me the peel lady. I've done 25,000 demos just with Linder Health Peels alone, but my career spans over a long time period and I've specialized in peels all that time. So if you have any questions at all, I'm here for you. But I am super excited to share with you our philosophy, our technology, and most importantly, how this pairs so perfectly with Hale and Hush. So if you're currently a Hale and Hush user and not familiar with the Linder Health peels, I want to show you how easy it is to incorporate Linder Health into your arsenal and how to amplify the results in the treatment room. So I'm going to share my screen. Perfect. And so just to get started, we are a chemical peel line, but we are non-inflammatory. And non-inflammatory is so important in this day and age because inflammation is such a part of all of the conditions that we treat. And even if someone is not technically sensitive or sensitized, hyperpigmentation, acne, visible aging, all are triggered by inflammation. And we can improve the skin significantly if we're able to reduce the amount of inflammation that we're incurring in the treatment room. And so that's what I encourage you to open your minds about today, is to step outside of the traditional chemical peeling box and think about chemical peeling in a new way because we have new science and new technology, and I'm so excited to share it with you. So just to show you a little bit about how we can not only improve the appearance of the skin for our major skin concerns, we can actually repair the barrier with these next generation chemical peels. And so this is an example of just two treatments, somebody who is suffering from acne and also had a bit of an impaired barrier. You can tell with the redness. And we did a combination of our spotless peel and our hero peel, and it was such a beautiful result after just two treatments. And so these are the results that you can expect to see with our peels. Even the spotless peel, which is our most aggressive, if you might say, it's the strongest of the three, it still works with the skin rather than against the skin and doesn't burn the skin the way that traditional chemical peels do. So you're working with the barrier and actually building that barrier function versus breaking it down. Here's another example of a acne sufferer with a severe impaired barrier. We used a combination of our spotless peel on the breakouts and then the polite peel the rest of her face. We're going to talk about what these peels are a little bit later, but again, this is just one treatment and 3 days after. So we've significantly improved the appearance of the skin, but more importantly, we've improved the function and the condition of the skin. And then this is one of my favorite treatments photos. This is somebody who came in, and you would think she had a peel before she came in with the amount of flaking and barrier disruption that we were seeing. We actually did a light dermaplane on her, followed by our hero peel and the bonus round. And after just one treatment, we saw such amazing results. So these are just some examples of what you can expect to see with the peels when they're used on their own. And so it really is a new way of thinking about how to treat the skin and how to work with impaired barrier and sensitivity and sensitized skin. So there are lots of acids out there, and just a few to consider when it comes to chemical peeling. The first is mandelic acid. I love mandelic acid. It's found naturally in bitter almonds, and it has a large molecular size. It's a higher molecular weight than a lactic acid or glycolic acid. And so it's going to penetrate into the skin slower, and you're not going to feel as much stimulation or get as much inflammation or irritation in the skin as you would with some of your smaller molecules. It helps with all of your major skin concerns. It's going to be a melanogenesis inhibitor for discoloration. It will help to stimulate collagen and elastin production for visible aging, and it will help to reduce follicular impactions for acne. And so you really are going to see improvement in all of your skin conditions, and it's going to be anti-inflammatory in the process. Lactic acid is also one of my favorites. It is a little bit of a smaller molecule than mandelic, so it will penetrate a little bit faster. It still is a very comfortable acid to work with, though. And the reason that I love it so much is it actually encourages the production of our natural moisturizing factor and ceramide production in the skin. And so you're going to get increased hydration with this exfoliating acid, which is a great double whammy. In addition, it's antimicrobial, so it will help with acne bacteria. It helps with fine lines and wrinkles. It will help with tyrosinase in the melanogenesis pathway for hyperpigmentation. And so you're just going to get a lot of great benefits from a lactic acid. And then finally, glycolic. Glycolic needs to be respected and needs to be used with caution, in my professional opinion. It is the smallest of the molecules. It penetrates the fastest, and so therefore it is the most aggressive of the alpha hydroxy acids. All alpha hydroxy acids work as a desmolytic. A desmolytic means that it breaks down the desmosomes, and that's the glue that holds our skin cells together. And so all of these work to accomplish that. All of them have secondary and tertiary benefits as well. Glycolic acid is found naturally in sugars. I don't recommend any higher than 10% of glycolic acid. Higher than that starts to get a lot more inflammatory because of the aggressive nature of the molecule itself. But glycolic acid is a phenomenal molecule for breakouts, especially acne breakouts. I love it. It will help to break down abnormal sebum production. And it also helps with the production of bacteria with acne. So some great options for you. Outside of alpha hydroxy acids, I love me some salicylic. Salicylic is a beta hydroxy acid found naturally in willow bark, and it is a phenomenal lipophilic molecule that will penetrate into sebum-filled pores and immediately dissolve those impactions. And so love it for acne, but it's also an anti-inflammatory ingredient. And so it's going to be very beneficial for all of our skin concerns. And unlike alpha hydroxy acids, salicylic works more as a keratolytic. So it's breaking down the keratin in the skin. So it kind of eats this dead skin away on the surface. Retinoids are another peeling agent that I encourage you to use in the treatment room with caution. Straight retinoic acid is a very aggressive form of vitamin A or retinoid. It is the most bioavailable form, so that's where we get the change in the skin. But what we do know is things like retinol and retinaldehyde will convert into retinoic acid in the skin without that topical irritation. So I encourage you to look at things like retinol, retinaldehyde, even retinoid esters at higher percentages, because these are skin normalizers. These are going to help all skin types to function better. And as long as you're using it in a conservative way in the treatment room versus every day, you're not going to get the retinization that often accompanies stronger retinoids. You're going to see cell turnover in the treatment room, meaning that you're pushing new cells from the bottom up, while the chemical peel works from the top down typically. And so that's why I love to pair retinoids with other types of exfoliation. And then not a peeling agent or an exfoliating acid, but an amino acid, tranexamic acid or TXA is a phenomenal agent to include in your peel solutions. It's going to help with all types of discoloration, not only melanin or brown in the skin, but also it will help with microvascular changes. So it's going to help with redness in the skin. It helps to reduce glycation, so it'll help with yellowing of the skin. So it's not just about the brown spots. It'll also help with post-inflammatory erythema. It will help with the redness that's associated with rosacea, and it will help with the yellowness that is accompanied with that glycation process where sugars bind to the proteins in our skin. I encourage you to consider blends of these acids that we talked about. When we blend acids together, it makes it to where we don't have to use too much of any one aggressive acid. And the marriage and the synergy of these acids really does create even better results in the treatment room. I encourage you to not push the limits, because any higher than 30% of a total acid composition starts to push the limits when it comes to inflammation in the skin. That's when we start to get more discomfort. That's when we start to see more downtime. Inflammation equals all of the trauma that we used to see in the skin post-treatment and during treatment. I love a pH between 3 and 3.5. That is the sweet spot when it comes to chemical peels. It is not too low to where we're creating inflammation, but it's low enough to where we're creating change. And delivery systems. Delivery systems help us to get those acids into the skin where they're going to create all that change that we're seeing in those before and after photos, but no surface irritation, no inflammation. So when we created these peels, we were thinking all about how the skin ages naturally and when it's exposed to inflammatory factors. And we also were thinking about the natural skin's microbiome and its barrier. We didn't want to break these things down. We didn't want to disrupt things further than they already are as we get older. Our optimal stratum corneum pH is between a 4.1 and 5.8. And as we age, it rises naturally. It also rises when we get certain skin concerns like acne, psoriasis, eczema. And so a lower skin pH in that range of 4.1 to 5.8 is optimal, but we're going outside of that with these conditions and as we age. A lower pH is needed to maintain that moisture balance in the skin. And so by very gently adjusting the skin's pH by re-acidifying the acid mantle, we're able to work with the skin rather than against it and really create that optimal skin function that we're looking for. Senescent cells or zombie cells. These are cells that are not quite alive, but they're not quite dead. They accumulate as we get older and as we're exposed to inflammatory factors. They're also known as zombie cells because they are contagious. So just like if a zombie bites you, you become a zombie. If one of these cells exposes you to its inflammatory substance that it leaks out, you're going to also become a senescent cell. So they are contagious. We want to get rid of these senescent cells. And chemical peels traditionally were able to get rid of them, but they were also creating more because of inflammation. So by eliminating the inflammatory component of chemical peels, we're able to harness the exfoliating power of these acids to get rid of these senescent cells without exacerbating the issue. Senescence leads to all kinds of issues in the skin: collagen breakdown, disrupted epidermal renewal, a disrupted barrier, altered skin microbiome. Accumulation over time leads to impaired cellular function, and it triggers this chronic inflammation in the skin. So again, whether your skin condition is truly sensitive, most people are either sensitized or have inflammation present with their skin condition that's exacerbating it. So at a pH less than 4, certain alpha-hydroxy acids support cellular metabolism. They improve mitochondrial ATP production. So our mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell. They give cells energy. And if we can keep that mitochondria production up and function up, our cells are going to be functioning at an optimal level. We want our skin to function the way that it did when we were younger. We want it to function the way it's supposed to. And by working with it, we are able to create those changes. Exposure to lactic acid especially can help with mitochondrial dysfunction as well as those zombie cells that we talked about, cellular senescence. And then exogenous acid is needed to improve barrier function and microbiome balance, but it needs to be done responsibly. So pros and cons of traditional chemical peels. The pros are that we create amazing change in the skin. I love chemical peels. They're going to increase scalp turnover. They're going to stimulate collagen production. They're going to reduce all sorts of imperfections in the skin, including breakouts and hyperpigmentation and rosacea. Peels are an amazing thing to have in our back bar. The cons of traditional chemical peels is they did all of this at the cost of chemical injury. There was inflammation present, and that wound healing response was part of the benefit. But we can create that change without creating the negatives, the discomfort, the post-treatment limitations, the PIH risks, and the downtime. So the way we do this is to determine peel depth in a new way. Peel depth is determined by multiple things. The first way is the previous condition of the skin. This always dictates it. So whether or not they're prepped, whether or not you're doing things to enhance the delivery of the peel in the treatment room, all sorts of things take place. Method of application. So whether you apply with a cotton versus a fan brush versus a scratchy gauze pad, all of these things dictate how the peel will penetrate and how deeply that acid will go. The number of layers is sometimes at play with our treatments, especially. These are self-neutralizing peels, so they're layer and leave on. So you can go up to 6 layers with the Linder Health peels. I typically average about 3 layers. Time on tissue is important with straight acid alpha hydroxy acid chemical peels. These are where you need to neutralize. So there's timing and then there's removal of those acids, and that's an important step with those types of peels. And then most importantly, we have the type and percentage of acid used and the pH of the solution. So this is where inflammation comes into play. The lower the pH, the more inflammation. The higher the percentage of an aggressive acid, the more inflammation. So rather than doing that, rather than lowering the pH or increasing the percentage, we've introduced a new delivery system called transcutol. It's not new to medicine. It's been used in pharmaceuticals for decades, but it is a transdermal delivery system that is both lipophilic and hydrophilic. So it will carry those ingredients into the skin where they're going to do the most good. Alpha hydroxy acids are historically very difficult to carry into the skin because they're hydrophilic. These delivery systems help us to carry those acids into the skin where they're going to create that change, but with no surface irritation. So we use a pH of 3 to 3.5, and that allows us to harness the senolytic activities of these acids. Senolytic means that we get rid of senescence cells. So desmolytic gets rid of desmosomes, keratolytic gets rid of keratin, senolytic gets rid of senescent cells. The lower total acids, no more than 30%, decreases risks in the treatment room. So they really are safe for all Fitzpatrick's, all sensitivity levels. We don't use any corrosive peeling agents like trichloroacetic acid or TCA, no resorcinol, nothing overly aggressive that's inherently inflammatory to the skin. And you can safely combine these with all other treatments and devices that you're using in your treatment room. So you can pair with dermaplaning. We saw a photo earlier. You can also pair with microderm, hydrodermabrasion, nano infusion, LED, all of your devices. And you can also include a peel in your traditional facial, because non-inflammatory means you can use it with steam and extractions and massage and all of that. There's no traditional prep required for our peels. So you don't have to be on any set group of product before you receive one of our peels. It doesn't mean that somebody who's just on Dial soap is going to get 6 layers of the spotless peel with us. But it does mean that we have a peel that's appropriate for every person who walks through the door. So you're not having to turn anybody away. They're layer and leave on again, so there's no neutralization. No sheet peeling. So it breaks the skin down into microfine particles where it looks like dandruff flakes versus big chunks of skin coming off. And there's no social downtime, no heat precautions. You can work out the same day that you get a peel. It's an amazing thing. So no lifestyle disruptions. They can go outside afterward. Everybody has to wear sunscreen, but there's no limitations as far as seasonality is concerned. I tested these. I'm in Arizona. I tested them year round to make sure that we could state this. We have tested them with Bikram yoga studios that are attached to some of our spas. And so we are talking heavy sweating after a peel, and we have no issues. So that's no seasonal limitations. You can use them year round. You can continue those results. You can maintain consistent revenue during the summer months, and you can perform these safely every 2 weeks. And then cost was also important to us. So we don't do individual vials. We do 2-ounce bottles that'll give you 30 peels a piece. And so that's about $3 per peel or $1 per layer. There's no consumables and there's a 3-year shelf life on all the peels. Couple other before and after photos. This is an example of an acne sufferer. We used both our spotless peel and our polite peel. You'll notice that you can use multiple peels in one session. You can map the face out and do one peel in one area and another peel in the rest of the face, or you can actually layer the peels. So you can apply one layer of the spotless peel, for example, for acne, and then do the polite peel over top for added anti-inflammatory benefits. One treatment with our hero peel and bonus round, a lot of redness in the skin, pore size dramatically reduced as far as appearance is concerned. Just a great result after just one service. And this is our hero peel on a higher Fitzpatrick. We can treat all Fitzpatricks, all sensitivity levels. So polite peel's the star of the show today. We do have a featured protocol where our polite peel is combined with the incredible enzymes. It's one of my favorite protocols. Polite peel is truly a revolutionary peel formula. It's 15% glycerin with 12% lactic acid. So it is hydrating, gentle exfoliation. And then we added 3% tranexamic acid and 3% mandelic acid. So it is just a beautiful combination that can be used on anybody who walks through the door. And I often use it as a topper on any of my services that I'm doing because it will make everyone glow instantly. Hero peel is the one I reach for, I would say 90% of the time. This is our answer for hyperpigmentation, discoloration, and visible aging. So that's what I see the most of. That's what I treat the most of. Hero peel is a 15% mandelic with 10% lactic acid and then 3% tranexamic acid. So again, that TXA, that tranexamic is really going to help with that discoloration in the skin of all types, whether it's red, yellow, or brown. Spotless peel is our answer for acne. It is technically the strongest of the 3 peels. It's an 18% mandelic with 10% glycolic and a 2% salicylic. It is such a beautiful formula for active acne. I use it all over the face for acne when it is widespread, but I also use it as a spot treatment with a cotton-tipped applicator all the time. And we have our bonus round and our prep work. Our bonus round is used to enhance and amplify cell turnover for any exfoliating treatment. I love it in the peel protocol. 1.25% retinol with CoQ10 and squalane. So it's soothing, it's hydrating. It is not an irritating retinol at all. It gently increases that cell turnover. And if you're looking for a little bit more flaking, if somebody needs to see a little bit more flaking, then the bonus round will also encourage that. Prep work is our degreasing solution. And so prep work is a great option before the peel to make sure that everything's going to penetrate nice and evenly. It's an alcohol base with a little glycolic acid and hexylresorcinol. It'll also be used as your sensitivity gauge to see how the person's responding to stimulation. Love this photo because it shows how close we can get to the eye area with these peels. I gently pull the eye skin down. I still stick to the orbital bone, but you can get nice and close to that lash line without worrying about migration. And so you can truly treat those crow's feet. Here's a great example of the glabella, one treatment, significantly reducing that line. And then acne with our spotless peel. We have one treatment, and this is 30 days later. So it's not just instant gratification, it's long-term improvement of those conditions. So this is who we are. We are a chemical peel line that combines an ideal pH with a novel delivery system with amazing ingredients at ideal percentages. And that means no inflammation in the treatment room, less peeling, less discomfort, and no limitations. This is all at a low price point and easy application for you, and you can easily combine it with all modalities. Hale and Hush with chemical peels I use all the time in my treatment room. And I use it for multiple things. Skin prep to make sure that the barrier is in good faith. I said earlier you don't have to prep with our peels. Of course, I want everybody prepped. That's an ideal situation. Then I can give them exactly what they need in the treatment room. If they're not there, I don't want to have to turn them away. But if they do have prepped skin, then that gives me so much more leeway as a clinician to do what is truly needed for their skin. Post-procedure care, after the peel, I recommend just a basic cleanser, moisturizer, and sunscreen for the first 2 or 3 days. And so Hale and Hush is a beautiful line to use immediately post-procedure where you're not dealing with a lot of active and fragrance and dyes and things of that nature. Combination treatments, so we have our protocol together, but I also love to use the Bedazzle mask with the Hero Peel, little combination of alpha hydroxy acid exfoliation before the chemical peel, beautiful. I love the charcoal clarifying mask with before the spotless peel to do a little detoxification prior to, such a beautiful treatment. And then I also love Hale and Hush for their rescue products, love the Bio Relief powder, love the Hydrate mask. And back bar support. So our protocol shows how you can incorporate the peel with Hale and Hush, no matter what back bar you have on hand. So it is an and/or option with the protocol. You can use our Stellar Gentle Gel Cleanser or the Quiet Wash. Then you'll use the mask, the incredible enzymes. Then you'll degrease with the prep work and apply the peel up to 3 layers. And then you can target and enhance using things like hyaluronic acid and peptides and really infuse the skin. So no matter what the condition, no matter how the barrier is functioning, we have options for you. And it's a beautiful marriage no matter what you have in your back bar. And here's an example of the results that you can expect to see when we combine such amazing things. So this is the incredible enzymes with the play peel. If you like this type of education and you're interested in learning more about Linder Health, we have an amazing online portal that you can have access to as a licensed professional, even before you become a partner. So we have hours worth of online education. You have access to ordering. There is reference materials, patient forms, all kinds of great stuff. And we would love to have you as a partner. So please do reach out. Follow us on Instagram at Linder Health. I'm Danae Markland _Linder Health. I would love to have you on my channel. We do lives every week highlighting experts from all over the country and doing demonstrations. So we'd love to see you there.
Thank you so much, Danae. We have so many questions. Let me just go back to some of them for you. At the very beginning, there was a few of the before and after photos. I'm not sure if you can go back to one of those. Somebody wanted to know how far apart two of the treatments were at the, I think it was the last image before you got into your little spiel. There was like 3 or 4 before and after photos at the beginning of the presentation.
So the majority of the treatments or the before and after photos that we do are done 2 weeks apart. So
Okay.
you can do treatments as often as every 2 weeks. Some of these are from customers. So let me pull this back up. So they are a little bit different as far as that is concerned. So this one, I think is the one you're talking about because the other two were just one treatment. So
Okay.
this particular one was spaced a month apart.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. We had somebody who, that was Ashley's question. When you were talking about mandelic acid, there was a question about being allergic to nuts. Do you want to
Love this
elaborate on
question.
that?
Yes, so get this question all the time. Great question. It is not a concern with our treatments because our mandelic acid is synthetically produced, so it doesn't ever come in contact with a nut. It's also not a concern with mandelic acid in general, just because when you are allergic to a nut, you're allergic to a protein in the nut, and mandelic acid has nothing to do with that protein, but it is synthetically produced, so no risk ever coming in contact with nuts.
The same as our mandelic as well. Um, so we have some, Isabella said she loves that they're self-neutralizing, which I agree with that you were talking about incorporating that into all different types of facials or treatments, and that's wonderful. Sydney would like to know if these peels can be used on the body.
They can. So you can use them on any area of the body. I love it for acne on the back, breakouts on the neck and or the chest and the shoulders, sun damage, hyperpigmentation on the underarms or intimate areas. You can use them. Keratosis pilaris, backs of the arms, backs of the legs. Great treatment.
And how about combining with red light?
So love it with red light. I recommend doing red light first before you do the peel, because then you'll get the best benefit from the lights themselves. So if you do it on clean, dry skin, followed by the chemical peel treatment, love that protocol.
Awesome. Ashley would like to know what is the bonus peel or the bonus round, I guess, in this case. And I think you talked about it after that, but if you want to just touch again.
So bonus round is that retinol enhancement. It's a 1.25% pure retinol with CoQ10 and squalane. It'll enhance the results of that peel for any skin condition because retinol is that skin normalizer that anybody can benefit from. And it is not irritating.
Does Linder Health have any opening orders?
Our opening order is $350, so it's very easy to get started with us. We have a kit that includes all 3 peels and the prep work and the castaway sunscreen to get going at that $350 mark. And then you can also customize your opening order if you'd like to do something different.
And then you don't have to meet a minimum to reorder, correct?
Correct. No minimums after that.
Ba, 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 ba. Tammy said she loves the line, very supportive, very versatile. We love that. Somebody asked about face reality, and since this is a Hale and Hush and Linder Health webinar, I will just refer that question to you. Can just go ahead and message Danae after the class, and she can let you know if there's any type of collaborations with face reality, since I personally don't know that line at all. Our acne educator, Kristen, may be also able to answer that as well, how Hale and Hush can work with face reality as well. Ashley said when she was talking about the photos earlier, she was asking how long in between the photos. But you did answer that, right? It was a certain, oh, you said it
Most
was
of
like
them
three
are.
peels, but as far as time, you don't really have the time.
So some of them are, it depends on them, on the photo, and we've got them listed in most of the time. So let me go back. So like this one was after one treatment, but 3 days later.
3 days later. Okay. I hope that
And
answers
this
your question.
last one was after one treatment, but 30 days later. So
3 days.
you've got that instant glow versus the long-term change.
Awesome. And then you have all these before and after photos on your website as well, right? Or on your training portal?
Yep, you can download all the before and afters as a partner from the resources website. So we've got all of those available. And then definitely encourage you to go to the Instagram page because we've got hundreds of before and afters from partners as well.
Awesome. So Ashley can hopefully do that. Sarah just commented that her husband is allergic to tree nuts, but he can use mandelic topically as well, and the lactic as well. It's synthetic, so no allergies. Correct. Brooke wants to know how you can layer multiple types of peels. Would that be more in the training, or is there a layman's terms on that?
Yeah, I can quickly. So with our treatments, I just recommend you do the strongest peel first. So you would apply, for example, the spotless peel first and then do either the hero or the polite peel over top of it. All you're doing then is allowing the ingredients in the peel that you put on top to penetrate a little bit deeper. And I like it because you're combining ingredients then that you might not have otherwise. So if somebody is an acne sufferer with PIH, for example, spotless topped off with the hero peel is a great treatment. If you have an acne sufferer who's more inflamed, spotless topped off with the polite peel is a great example. If you've got a melasma sufferer with lots of pigment, I love the combination of polite and hero because you get double the dose of tranexamic. So lots of great options.
Yeah, and
And
there's lots of different ways to mix and match them as well. For I remember when I took my training, there's a lot of ways to learn how to incorporate different ones for different reasons.
absolutely.
Heidi would like to know how young of a client can you treat?
So Dr. Linder recommends puberty. Puberty is when we start to see the changes in the skin, and that is when she feels it is appropriate. And puberty, of course, will be different for everybody.
Excellent. And how about with microneedling?
You can combine with microneedling. It is an advanced treatment. I recommend you always do advanced treatments on their own first and then combine them together. But the way you would do it is to do the microneedling first, and then you would apply the appropriate chemical peel in just one layer.
Victoria would like to know when using Linder with Nano, can we use a sheet mask? Do you have any cautions on what type of a sheet mask to use? She has some sheet masks with extra liquid, such as peptides, and she wanted to be sure that that's okay.
That is absolutely okay. So you can use a sheet mask after the peel. I treat it just like I would a serum, and we love to infuse the skin with serums after the peel. So you would do your nano infusion, apply your peel, and then you do your sheet mask afterward. And it really doesn't matter what type of sheet mask you use. I have used a variety of all different types. I just look for the right ingredients that I'm trying to get into the skin.
So you peel first and then Nano?
You nano first, then peel, and then sheet
Then peel.
mask.
Okay. Nano and then peel. Okay. All right, that one's done. I was taught to never use retinol with nano, but the Linder Health training states it can be used with it. What makes it safe to use in conjunction with this treatment?
So while it's a pure retinol, it's a gentle formula. And so you're not getting that surface irritation or retinization that you typically get with a retinol product. When we had a partnership with Regenerate, and we were the first peel line that they introduced to do the protocol in this way because of our non-inflammatory ways. So our formulas are just different. They are more gentle, they're more sensitive, and again, they work with the skin versus against it. So it does sometimes go out of the standard protocols that we're taught.
Awesome. Does your product have a 3-year shelf life after being opened or unopened?
So the 3-year shelf life is from when you open the bottle.
There's so many questions and I still have to do my presentation. All right. So I'm going to pause here for her questions. I have to just do the other part of the presentation first. That way, if anybody does need to jump off, they can go ahead and jump off. So give me one moment to just share my screen. We still have like 10 more questions to answer. La, da, da. All right. I think it's this one. And Sarah might be able to jump in and answer if there's any.
Prep work can be used before any modality like dermaplaning or microchanneling. It's a great prep solution for any exfoliating treatment.
Awesome. Okay, so really quick, I know most of you are already Hale and Hush customers, but there might be some of you that are newer to Hale and Hush. So I just want to quickly go over Hale and Hush as a company. So we are also a sensitive skin product line. We were originally, our roots are in oncology skincare. So we were originally created for clients that were suffering from autoimmune diseases, chemotherapy, radiation, any type of health compromise challenges. And our owner, Chris Campbell, was tired of being known as the brand for sick people. So she ended up buying out her partners and then ending up rebranding Hale and Hush as we know it today. So over the last 8 years, she has grown the product line into something more than just something for sensitive skin. So we do have a little bit of something for everyone. We are an award-winning product line that has exceptional protocols, great collaborations with companies such as Linder Health. We have a wonderful training and support staff. So you've got Sarah, who's here on the Zoom with us. She's in the office. I'm one of the educators. I think the entire team is on here today. I was looking through the group of who is watching. We've got Victoria, Shirley, Shalencia was here, Tatiana was here. I don't know who else I'm missing, but Kristen's here, and I think that was who I saw, and I'm sorry if I'm missing anybody. We do have that professional only Facebook group we talked about earlier. If you scroll up in the chat, you will see Sarah did put that link in there. So if you haven't already joined, please do. We are going to announce some winners for today's drawing, and that's going to be tomorrow on our Facebook Pro group. We have no minimum orders ever. We have no minimum opening orders, no minimum reorders. We do offer drop shipping. And what that means is if you happen to be out of a product or you don't have everything on your retail shelves, we can directly ship to your client. There's no additional fee to do this, but there is a regular shipping fee. We've got phenomenal marketing collateral for you to gift to your clients and great educational opportunities, such as this one that is free for you, our wonderful customers. We want to support you and help you grow as an esthetician. So the importance of why we do these collaboration classes is that it expands your knowledge. So maybe you weren't aware of Linder Health. Maybe you weren't aware of how easily and effortlessly you can combine a simple chemical peel with a protocol that's very simple, such as our Hale and Hush line is itself. The hierarchy of treatments, meaning what can you use when? So you were asking like when do we nano? Which is stronger? Is a mandelic stronger than a glycolic? So helping you to learn a little bit more about how and when we want to do certain exfoliations, certain steps within treatment. So it gives you more opportunity to treat your clients and just showing you that everything is very adaptive in the treatment room. So although we write protocols for a reason, there are some ways that we can tweak these protocols working with other companies such as Linder Health and working alongside each other to say, okay, yes, you can use the enzyme with the spotless peel. And just making sure that we agree instead of, I know I've been an esthetician for 22 years. I have done some crazy stuff in my treatment room and on myself, luckily, but we don't ever want to be, mixing and matching crazy things on clients either. So we make sure that we do that for you so that you can go ahead and be safe in your treatment room. And it gives your client more choices. It gives you, the esthetician, more choices. And at the end of the day, you're giving that overall better effect and better result for your client and giving them what they want. Benefits of chemical peels. We talked about this. Danae talked about this in very much depth. It does give that extra exfoliation, cell turnover, helps the products that we're going to put on afterwards to absorb even better, but it's also helping to support the barrier function. We're not stripping that barrier function of the skin that some chemical peels will do. Helping to reduce congestion and helping to build up that tolerance and resistance to certain ingredients so that they can have better results inside and outside of the treatment room. I'm pretty sure that Danae covered all of these. So we do want to make sure that we are using those lower concentrations only. So the gentle acids. So we are showing you how to easily and effectively use these without over exfoliating or over drying the skin. If you are ever concerned, we do suggest patch testing. If you ever want to make sure that there's no type of reaction or allergies to ingredients, you can always patch test first. We do want to avoid severely compromised barrier. I know Danae said that we can use the I forget the name of it, just escaped me, the more mellow peel. You can use it even, thank you, the polite peel. I'm like, what is the word? On any type of skin, even if it is compromised, but we want to avoid severely damaged barriers. We don't want to peel the skin when it's actively inflamed or actively already peeling or has any open lesions. Making sure that you're spacing your treatments out accordingly. And I believe Danae has a wonderful guideline in their training that shows you how far in between you can do each treatment. If I remember correctly, it's been a while since I did the training, but is it 2 weeks that's suggested?
2 weeks, yes,
Yep.
you can do.
Avoiding harsh combinations such as retinoids or different type of stronger exfoliants. So always follow the suggested manufacturer's instructions. So following up, making sure that you are assisting the skin with hydration after these types of treatments, and making sure that you're monitoring the client, or the client is monitoring their own skin for any type of flare-ups, redness, irritation, and bringing it to your attention immediately. Danae had a beautiful image of the collaboration on which products complement one another, and this goes in pretty in depth in the written protocol, which you can find on our website. So it shows you which products you would use and when. So if you look at the bottom, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but right here where it says pre-cleanse, you would use Quiet Wash or the Stellar Gentle Cleanser. So this is really nicely outlined for anybody who has both lines or one line or the other line. But we just really want to make sure that we are working on the client's skin and helping them to achieve those results that they want in the best way and the safest way possible. This is going to just go into quick recap of the products that are in our protocol. So our Quiet Wash Cleanser, which is our gentle cleanser. It's a very light gel-based cleanser, good for all skin types. It's filled with ingredients that help to reduce redness, irritation, and inflammation. We do have that in 3 sizes as well. So we have a 3 ounce, a 6 ounce, and a 16 ounce, as well as our new Clarify Wash, which is a Mandelic cleanser. It is a 3% Mandelic cleanser, and this also is a light gel-based cleanser in a 3 ounce, 6 ounce, or 16 ounce. This is going to be the cleanser that we suggest for those that have a little bit more oiliness or need a little bit more brightening. Our incredible enzyme is a blend of papain, bromelain, pomegranate, and fig. So it's going to be a nice, gentle exfoliant to use before the Linder Health peels. So it's going to help to break down and dissolve any keratin buildup on the surface of the skin to allow the peel to then do its job and penetrate much more nicer. Our Soothe Essence Serum is our hyaluronic serum. So it's a nice, gentle, hydrating serum, partners wonderfully with the peels. Vital Lipid Lotion is our middle moisturizer. So this is going to be for our normal to combination skin types, but wonderful to use after the peel to help to hydrate, to really improve that barrier function of the skin and help to balance the skin's microbiome. And then, as Danae said, always using our SPF when we are treating the skin with any type of, we should be using it anyways, but especially with any type of exfoliation. Berry Boost is a wonderful complement to the Linder Health peels. This is our newer, one of our newer masks. This one's going to be very nourishing, hydrating. It's filled with antioxidants. It has a beautiful elderberry fragrance to it as well. And this was our second to last educational webinar for the year. We do have diversity in the treatment room, which is going to be with Aisha and Alina from Spectrum Advanced Aesthetics are they in Washington, or I think they're in Washington State. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe it's Oregon, somewhere on the other end of the world from where I am. But we also have Chalencia, who is our educator, who will be on there with them in November. So hopefully you guys can all join that. There will be a link to register just like you did for this one today. We also have 3 upcoming product knowledge classes. So if there was anybody who was new here in the webinar, we highly suggest that you sign up for one of our product knowledge classes. We go into in-depth on each of the products, how to use them. We have a few other classes coming up this year. We have a basic acne and advanced acne classes with Kristen. That's going to be November 9th and December 7th. They are prerequisites for those classes. So if you're interested in doing the basic acne on November 9th, you do need to take product knowledge prior to that. So just to keep that into consideration. We have a modalities for sensitive skin class, a basic body care treatment class, and we also have Dr. Erin Fleck, who will be joining us for a diseases and disorder class. So those can all be found on our website. Also, our social media posts. It gives you how to sign up and any prerequisites that are required for that. We do have a marketing program if anyone is interested. This is the link, marketing, the Airtable link here if you want to type that in, or you can email directly marketing@haleandhush.com and just request to be registered for our marketing program. They'll send you an Airtable link, and within that link, you will find all of these items here, which is a monthly facial program, photos, logos, videos. We do have on our website, we do have monthly blog, monthly webinars. We talked earlier about our YouTube channel where this video will be up on our YouTube afterwards. And we do have a scholarship program. If anybody's interested in registering for that or applying for that, should I say, not registering, you can find the link in our bio on Instagram, and it goes directly to that application. There's a whole process, and I believe the date is October 31st that you need to do that by. And I could be wrong on that, but it looks like we have a lot more questions that have been popping in since I've been talking. Our open stock items for Hale and Hush are going to be 15% off until October 24th, just for being a participant in this webinar. So make sure that you use this code Linder. If you're going to be ordering online, you'll just put it into the notes section if you need to. If you do call the office, let them know as well. They will have the list to be able to look and see who was part of this webinar, but you do need to let them know because they just don't automatically know that you were here. You've got Chris's information here and my information as well. And then let me go back to some of these mazillion questions we've got there. Danae, you ready? Because these are all for you, girl.
Ready.
Let's see. Q&A. Let's go back here. Marianne would like to know more about the company itself.
Sure. So quickly, we were founded by Dr. Jennifer Linder, who is a board-certified dermatologist and Mohs skin cancer surgeon. She has been in the chemical peel industry for over 20 years and previously owned PCA Skin. So even though we are newer as far as our chemical peels, we know chemical peels, baby.
They sure do. Which would be best for post-inflammatory erythema?
The Hero Peel is what I recommend with post-inflammatory erythema. Love that 3% tranexamic acid.
How often can the peels be used? We said 2 weeks, right?
Every 2 weeks, yep.
Is there going to be a printout of the slideshow? No, but this Zoom will be on YouTube, so you can go ahead and reference the YouTube whenever you need a refresh. Is there a max within a year, or can it be used often?
You can use it every 2 weeks for as long as the person is alive, basically. There's no breaking down of the dermis or anything like that that you might get with deeper chemical peels where we would need to limit how much exfoliation we're doing.
Can you use hydrogel masks after the peel?
You can use hydrogel masks after the peel, so love it. It's a Great way to increase hydration. A little occlusion is also a nice kick to the peel. So love the hydrogelly mask. You do it afterward and then just peel that off.
We talked about dermaplaning, right? You can use the peels with dermaplaning, correct?
You can. You dermaplane first, and then you can do up to 3 layers of the appropriate peel.
Talked about how often. What is the best applicator for the peels? A brush, cotton, or gauze?
We recommend a cotton application. So these are our little Linder Health cotton pads. They're circles with a little texture on them, but they're not scratchy at all. They've got a little pocket for your facial fingers. They don't absorb a lot of product, so you can get a lot of treatments out of them. I use one side of the pad for one layer, and then I flip it over and use the clean side for the second layer. So I'll get 2 layers out of a cotton pad.
Let me see. Yep, code is Linder. Somebody had a client, they had to go. Clarissa's so excited for the November class. Thank you, Melissa. Danae. Marianne is in Oregon. Thank you for letting me know that. I couldn't remember where they were located. I love Linder peels.
Happy.
Victoria said she's done 5 on herself and the results are fabulous.
I'm so glad.
I don't know if I missed any others there. How soon can you do a chemical peel after the client completes chemo treatment?
So the polite peel is something that you can use once their barrier is repaired. Dr. Linder is definitely an advocate for that polite peel for anyone undergoing treatment, but it is to be used with caution and to make sure that that barrier is intact.
Excellent. And let's see, we've got, can you use red light? You said yes, you're just going to use it before the peel, correct?
Correct.
Since the peels are neutralizing, how long do you wait to move on to the next process in a treatment?
So I just wait 1 to 2 minutes in between each layer of peel to allow it to penetrate.
I have a microchanneling machine. How would I go about incorporating this into microchanneling?
So microchanneling, we've got a protocol that you can get off of our website that shows you exactly how to combine. But again, you would do the microchanneling first and then followed by 1 layer of the appropriate peel.
All right. Okay, so Sarah had a good point. If you do an online order, make sure you're putting the coupon code, which is going to be Linder, in the notes section, not the discount code spot, because then they will not see it to manually enter the discount. So just make sure that you do that. How do you determine how many layers somebody needs?
Good question. So there's no visible endpoint usually. So you're not looking for blanching, you're not looking for a lot of redness or swelling or anything in the skin because there's no inflammation. So I typically will choose the number of layers based on what the person needs according to their skin condition. So thicker skin, deeper skin conditions like melasma or higher grades of acne or something like that, I might use more layers of peel so that that way the peel is penetrating to where the condition actually lives in the skin. I average typically about 3 for most people.
Awesome. All right. I think we've caught up on all the questions. Does anybody else have, I'm just trying to scroll back through the chat to see if we missed anything. Sarah has included her direct email, which is support@haleandhush.com. She's physically in the office and can answer your emails or your phone calls, not any time of day, but most of the time I feel like she's always there. She's always available. Danae, did you have you shared your email, correct? Or did you the
I will,
office information?
yes, I will put it in the chat here as well.
And then Ashley asked a question about the peel layer. She said, would it be 3 passes per peel or 3 passes total?
3 passes total. So if you're combining the peels together, it's the maximum is 3 total.
Awesome. How long between waxing can we peel?
So I just recommend 48 hours after waxing.
And if you did the peel before, you could do the same thing, 48 hours the other
48
way.
hours. Yep.
All right. Well, I think we really had a lot of great questions there. Just a reminder too that we will be doing a giveaway for everyone who was on the webinar today for more than 30 minutes. You will be entered into the drawing for a few products. So we are going to be giving away a combination of a 3-ounce quiet wash, a Soothescent serum, and a vital lipid lotion. And we will have 3 lucky winners who will be winning those 3 products today, just for being on here and being amazing and asking such great questions. And again, we answered so many questions, and I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything here. But I would love to thank Danae for being here with us and sharing all of your phenomenal peel education with us. I think we, as sensitive skin experts, a lot of us, anyways, I'm a lot more holistic. I don't do a lot of more aggressive treatments. So just knowing that we can incorporate something that's aggressive without being overly aggressive is a really wonderful combination. And I love just hearing different ways that we can incorporate things together. So that was really great for, I think, to share with everybody here.
Thank you
So
so much
thank
for
you
having me.
again. And thank you guys for joining us today. And again, this replay, for those of you who came on late, I know there was a bunch of you who came on late and some of you had to leave early, will be available on YouTube. I think it is in about 2.5 weeks. And then you will get the replay for just being here today as well. So thank you, Danae.
Thank
And
you
we'll
so
see you
much,
next
Melissa. It's
time.
good to see you. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. We'll see you guys later. Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone.